Guys, and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be making bao buns. These are a Chinese street food, traditional street food. So for the ingredients today, you're going to need plain flour, 363 grams. You're going to need 131 grams of milk. You're also going to need 21 grams of yeast. I'm using, excuse me, I'm using easy bake yeast. So if you can get that for this recipe, you'll also need 19 grams of oil, 29 grams of caster sugar, 2 grams of baking powder, and 71 grams of water, and also a pinch of salt. So let's just get straight into this. As you can see already, I have my flour in here. So to that, I'm going to add in the sugar. Sugar in. I'm also going to add the yeast straight in, and I'm going to add the baking powder. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to give that a mix. Just stir it all in. Okay, so that's the first part done. So we'll just push this to one side. So then you're going to need to get your milk, which I have here in a bowl, and then to that, then you just want to add your oil, and then we're going to heat this up in the microwave. Now you want this at about 43 degrees. If you don't have a thermometer, it's just hand temperature, so when you put your finger in it to check it, it should be warm, not hot, whereas you can't put your hand in it, otherwise that's too hot. So 43 degrees, so I'm going to put this in literally just for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to give that the 30 seconds, and then we'll come back and we'll do the rest. Okay, so that's the wet ingredients warmed up. So really, ideally 43 degrees. If you have a thermometer, please do use it just to get the correct temperature. But if not, just hand temperature is fine. So we've got all the ingredients together. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And then we're just going to stir this. If possible, try and just keep going the one way. Until we get this into a dough, or just until it starts to form nicely. So as you can see, that's starting to come together. So I'm just going to give this a little push. Take the ingredients from the side of the bowl, and then just scrape off your spoon. And then we're just going to go straight in with the hands now, and just get this to a point where it's all nice together. This will just take a couple of minutes, just to make sure you get all of that flour and everything incorporated. Now don't worry, the dough will be a little bit tacky, as usual, but that's what you want. Okay, so I'm at that point now where I can start kneading. So I'm just going to make sure, give that a bang, just move that bowl out of the way. And then all I'm doing here now is we're going to knead. This will take about 4 minutes, so we'll just show you the process. So all I'm doing is a quarter turn, lifting over, folding with my hand, and we'll just work this until the dough is nice and silky. And just incorporate it bit by bit. And we'll just keep working it till we get that nice silky dough. And then what you will need on hand after that is you will need a rolling pin, and you'll also need another clean bowl. That's just for your dough to go into, because it will take about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Okay, so I'm just going to move this in. And we just keep kneading. Okay, I'm just going to put this off to one side. Have a quick clean down. Remove any excess. And then bring the dough back over. the same again. We just want it so it's nice and silky. As you can see, this is already starting to come together for me. So I would say maybe another minute and a half maximum. Just give you a quick look at the dough now. As you can see, it's already starting to come together nicely, starting to go silky. So we just continue to knead that. And as you knead it, you'll feel the texture of the dough will start to change. So this is nearly here, nearly done. Keep going. And I think that's pretty much there. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to shake this into a little ball. As you can see, that's a little ball there. Lovely. And just quick wipe down again. Okay, so what we're going to need next is another bowl. And then all we're going to want to do to that is just put in just a tiny bit of oil. The tiniest amount. This is just going to coat the dough and stop it from sticking. As you can see, I've put very, very minimal in there. Maybe a half a teaspoon, something like that. So all you want to do is put the dough in, give it a rub, and just coat that dough. And that is pretty much it done for now. So off to the side I have my cling film. So you just want to get a piece of cling film just to cover it. And just cover the bowl here. Make sure it's well covered. Okay guys, so you get to sit back now, have a coffee, have a tea, a biscuit, whatever you want to do. I would say check back on this in about an hour. So what you're really looking for is this to double in size. Once it's doubled in size, you're good to go. So I'll let this do its thing, and we'll come back to it, and we'll get cracked on with the rest of it. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a nice rise here. So we'll go on to the next stage of this now. So I just have a bit of plain flour here at hand. Just move this off to one side. I'm just going to flour the surface a little bit, and then just going to take this out, pop this on the bench, get rid of this, and then just another bit of flour on top, not too much. Now for this next part you're going to need quite a bit of space to roll this out, and I also have my steamer here, so that's ready to go. And what you're going to need is, if you have a steamer, you're going to need the lid like this, and also I've done is wrapped a tea towel around it, and what that does is help stop the moisture from dripping back down onto them and leaving them soggy. So that's just on top. So we'll start rolling this out. I'm trying to get the flour, I think. And we're just going to roll it. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin. And just roll it out, continue to roll. And then what I have is, I'm going to use a pastry ring just to cut these out. Just to get the nice shape that I want. And the size that I want. So that's the dough rolled out. Give you a quick look at the thickness here. In and around that is what you're aiming for. So I have my pastry ring. It's the largest one out of the set, so that's the one I prefer to use. And I'm just going to use the flat edge for this. So all you're going to want to do is just line it up, press it down, give it a quick twist. Try and get these as close as possible so you can stretch out the pastry, so you can get as much, or sorry, the dough, so you can get as many rings as you can. And then what you're going to need to do then is you're going to need to get some parchment paper or baking paper. And this is just to sit the barrels on top of, so when they go into the steamer, they don't end up soggy. Okay, so, and then all I'm going to do is remove the excess dough, take this off. Move that to one side. Move this. Okay, so for the next part, you're going to need to, I'm just going to move these off to one side, just to make a bit of room for myself. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what you want to do then is turn them over. So you just want them turned over like this. And then you just want to fold them over on each other, just to make them meet up. And then nice and gently, just grab the rolling pin and just give them a little roll. Not too much, just a tiny bit. And then, as you can see, the grease proof here that I already have cut. I'm just going to sit that on top. And that's what you want to continue on doing. I'll do one more. Just fold it over. And then just give it a little press, not too much. And continue on doing that. Okay, so I'm just going to do 4 for the purpose of the video. And then we'll get these steamed off. And you're looking between 8 to 10 minutes for these. When they are steaming, don't be tempted to lift the lid off because it will ruin them, it will deflate them. So just trust in it, the 8 to 10 minutes. As soon as that time's up, trust me, they'll be good to go. Okay, so that's the 4 there that I have done. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is put the steamer on. So that's the steamer on. Sorry about the noise. And then what you want to do with these, this here, when you put them into the steamer tray, don't set them in the center because there's no holes in the center. You want to sit them over the holes, and then you want to put one here. I can fit about 4 in mine, so that's 2, 3, and 4. Just turn this one around so it goes with the shape of the actual steamer tray. Okay, so that's them sitting in, ready to go. Now I'm just going to put the lid on this. Again, make sure your tea towel is over the top, so just wrap that and keep this over. And then basically all we're going to do now is going to put these on for 8 minutes, and we'll show you what they look like after the 8 minutes. Okay, so that's them on. I'll see you in a few, guys. Okay, so as you can see, I now have these out. I just want to show you these. That's been the 8 minutes that they needed. I just want to show you. They will be slightly stuck, but as you can see, these are out. Really, really nice. Really, really fluffy. And you can literally fill these with anything you like. Look at that. Unbelievable. Soft, fluffy, steaming. Absolutely amazing. So guys, that's pretty much it for the tutorial on these. So yeah, give them a go. They're not difficult to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll figure something out. And remember, if you like what you see, like and subscribe, please. It really, really does help the channel. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.